No, please. We're friends to the end. Remember?
This is the end, friend.
This is the end.
This
friend.
is the end, friend. Oh, my Lord.
Welcome to Screams and Streams, the podcast that looks at the best and worst horror movies as rated on Rotten Tomatoes from 1970 onwards. I'm your host, Sam, and with me are my co-hosts,
Mike
and
Chad.
Be sure to check us out on Instagram. Our handle is @ScreamStreamPod. Also, check out our website, screamsandstreams.com, for more information about all the films we're looking at. Just a warning, if you don't like spoilers, we recommend that you stop listening now, check out the film, and then rejoin us for our discussion. Today, we're looking at a film that started a franchise. It actually spawned 6 sequels, a TV series, a remake, comic books, and a video game. It's Tom Holland's 1988 film, Child's Play. It scored 74% on Rotten Tomatoes, so let's get into it. Chad, what's our summary?
All right. When Charles Lee Ray needs to get a quick escape from cop Mike Norris, he takes his soul and buries it into playful, seemingly good guy doll Chucky. Little does he know, a little boy by the name of Andy Barclay will be the new owner of him soon to come. Charles confides in Andy while he commits numerous murders. Sorry, I'm trying to get through this. While he commits numerous murders. And once the adults accept Andy's story as truth, it's too late.
Oh.
Uh-oh. Is that the quick way out to transfer your soul into a doll?
Apparently, if you are a voodoo specialist, that is the quickest way to get out of trouble with the cops.
Yep. So there's layers here. That's what we're seeing. Poor Andy.
Oh,
All right. Thanks for that, Chad.
No problem.
Now we're going to look at our Sinister Sip. Mike, what are we drinking today?
The Sinister Sip for today is the Chucky from Haunted Ventures.
Ooh.
Oh,
Cheers, everybody.
cheers.
Cheers.
It's like hard iced tea.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really taste much.
Yeah, I think, I don't know, it's Coke. So the Coke overpowers, but it's vodka, lemon juice, whiskey, and a little bit of honey with Coke on top. So
Yeah, it's good. Nice. Thanks for that.
no problem.
All right. Now we're going to head into our first impressions. Chad,
Yes.
you've been selected.
My first impression, I've seen this film several times. I saw it when I was a kid. I saw it growing up. This is the first time I've seen it probably within the last 15 years old, maybe 10 years. And I remember thinking when I first watched it, I remember liking it. This one, after I've seen it a few times, and I don't know, it's silly. It's okay. I wouldn't say it's awesome, but I did still enjoy it. There's just some crazy moments in it that we'll get into it. Well, I mean, the whole premise of actually that whole fucking synopsis is just ridiculous. Like, I got to get away from the cops. Give me the power I beg of you. Just going to put myself in this doll. And then he thinks he's invincible, but he's not.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh.
But anyways, I thought it's kind of a fun ride, but we'll get into it a little later. It's still enjoyable.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. I've seen it. I've seen, I think, most of the Child's Play movies. I think, like, definitely, I remember The Bride of Chucky, Seed of Chucky, or Seed of Chucky. Is that?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I think I saw the remake on a first date with a guy in junior high.
Ooh.
Yeah. So, or the remake, or one of them. Anyways.
Yeah, there's a few.
Yeah, so it would have been somewhere in that little range there. So. Yeah, the same thing. It's fun. Like, you know what you're going to get with these movies. You've heard about them. Everyone, I feel, has seen at least one of or knows of Chucky. Like,
Right,
so
yeah.
I think that's pretty good. Overall, some great parts, some not so good parts, but overall, I enjoyed watching it again. I hadn't seen it probably since I was a teenager as well. So it was nice to kind of revisit it. Mike, what about you?
Yeah, I can't remember the first time I saw this, but I know I was young and I was the perfect age because it was just like, killer doll, it's awesome. And thought it was funny and loved that he swore and things like that. And I've seen it a few times. I can't remember the last time prior to this watching it, rewatching it, still enjoyed it, found it fun, just went along for the ride with it, I guess. So yeah, for what it was, I liked it. There were some crazy moments. There were a few things that I was actually like jump scared when I watched it. So yeah, overall
good. Yeah.
enjoyable. Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. It was hard for me because I was just enjoying the ride. It was hard for me to fill in the categories as I'm watching. Usually I have my notes and fill in the categories too. But I kind of enjoyed just watching it.
Yeah.
Perfect. Thanks for that. We're going to head into our tropes. I'm going to start us out. I found quite a few here. The killer POV is real in this one. I know, Mike, you for sure have that on your list, but oh
Sure
my
do.
gosh. Yeah, all the time. And then also the single mom that's working too hard or not quite invested and not being super present for the kid. We're seeing that quite a lot in the 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chad.
I had the fog in the back alley.
Yes.
An excessive amount of fog.
So much fog.
So yeah, there were lots of that. And then I also had nobody believes the kid, right? So the whole show is, oh, you're crazy, or let's get this kid some psychiatric help and all this stuff. And it can't be happening. And then finally, I guess this doll is killing people.
Oh, shit.
It's like, fuck, is it too late?
Mike, what'd you have?
I had the thunderstorm during black magic ritual or voodoo ritual.
Oh my gosh, yes.
That reminded
ridiculous.
me of Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Like that, the cloud
Yes, this like
swirling
spinning around.
on top. It's like, oh, this is quite a system we have.
Pazuzu is coming.
Chad and I were both doing the motion. The
Yeah,
circular
that's right.
tornado.
The circular tornado above
hurricane.
us. Yeah, in case you were wondering.
What we're doing over here.
And then my other one was the killers in the car behind you or under the seat or
So-
Under the seat. Could you imagine this killer under the seat? Like
Well, the
any
night-
other killer other than this wee doll?
Well, did you also see when he scurried under the couch? I didn't put this anywhere, but when he flew under the
just like,
couch.
"Woo!" and he just shoots. Yeah.
he rolled.
I know, but it was so fast, like unbelievably fast. I had the phone ringing when it's super suspenseful, and it kind of breaks the suspense there. And then I also said, I haven't mentioned this, I don't think, but the closet doors that have the slats in them.
Oh,
That was a very
yes.
80s, 90s, and it's a good, like it's scary enough, but we see it all the time.
yeah.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah. Chad, what else did you have?
I had, the killer won't die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to kill him a couple of times. I also had something cute and innocent being the exact opposite of what it.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
I mean, I'll get into I'm sure someone has this quote, but like, it's just this cute little doll. And then when the head turns around, so yeah, I mean, he's pretty freaky sometimes.
Yes, he is. Mike, what else did you have?
I had the pupil turning against the master when Charles Lee Ray as Chucky goes and kills the voodoo guide or whatever you want to call him.
Can I ask why he wanted to kill him?
Because he left him at the crime scene, right? He ditched him. Or at the, when he was about to get arrested.
No, but that was Eddie, not the voodoo master.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yeah, no.
Because I think he went to find out why he was feeling pain. He's like, oh, you're becoming human. So, but I still don't know why Charles Lee Ray's like, so now I will kill you.
Well, he corrupted his magic. He's like, you're an abomination and all that stuff. So he, I guess, went over into I didn't know there was a light and dark side of voodoo, but apparently he went to the dark side of voodoo. I don't know. But in any case, I just didn't understand why he attacked him because we didn't see him throughout the film until that spot.
Right.
Yeah.
The other guy I could get.
Yeah.
I could get him wanting to kill him because, he ditched him. He got shot and then he ends up in a good guy doll. But this guy I didn't get. But
maybe it was just to because that's the guy who knows the answers on how to kill him. Maybe.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
And to show how he learned voodoo in prison.
Maybe.
Because that's. I'm stretching here.
Sure, let's connect those dots.
Yeah.
Let's
they could have just said I learned this shit in prison.
Yeah, that's right. I learned
Leave it at that.
How to possess things in prison. Yeah.
We're just practicing voodoo.
Yeah.
Some people do
Just in
crafts.
general.
Some people do crafts. Some people find God. And
Some
then
people get their GED. This guy
he learned fucking voodoo. On that note, I said the only black guy in the film is the guy who knows voodoo and is the criminal.
Yeah.
I
That's
was
right.
like, ooh, yeah.
That's rough.
Yeah. I was like I don't know, that's just.
It's a different time.
I was like, I don't know if that's just racism or
Still Chicago.
Yeah.
Well,
This movie's miscast.
I was like, there's no other black actors. But also, as soon as they pulled up, they're like, it's this and it's the mugshot. I was like, no.
I know, right? It was like this. isn't right.
Yeah. I was like, oh no. And then my last one was the killer moves faster than any of the victims. So this
Right.
teeny
Yes.
little doll is quicker than
Someone
anyone
can
else.
take a full grown step.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was like, Mike, did you have any others?
Yeah, I did. I had the victim stays alive long enough to give important information. So the voodoo master gets killed and he's like, stays alive just long enough. Like, he can be killed or whatever. Like, get the heart or and then dies. It's like,
The heart.
yes.
It's so funny how they just like squeak out that last word and then it's like instant. Oh, just all life escapes.
And then my last one was the gun jams on the kill shot.
Oh, of course.
Oh yeah. Good one.
I also had a note here too, the car flip with the detective in
Oh,
it.
yeah.
But I didn't know
yeah,
where to
yeah,
put
yeah.
that. But I was like, we see that as a trope, the car exploding or flipping. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
perfect. Thanks for those. Now we're going to look at some one-liners that stood out for us in the film. Chad, you had quite a few. Can you start us off?
Oh, well, I had the classic, all right, I'm Chucky, want to play?
Oh,
So
yeah.
I had that one. And then when she picks up Chucky and is shaking him and yelling at him, and all of a sudden he kicks into like high gear, and, you stupid bitch, you filthy slut. And then
I'll teach you to fuck with me.
Yeah, I was like, whoa! It goes from 0 to 100.
Yeah, 1,000.
Talk her, I'm throwing her in the fire.
Yeah, it's like, and then his little face, the way they make his face, like, scream is it's just funny.
So good.
Those were my first two.
Perfect. Mike, what did you have?
My first one is when they're in the alleyway buying the good guy doll.
Oh god.
And I think it's Maggie says like, how do we know this isn't stolen? And the hobo's like, steal this.
Grabs his
Grabs his
crotch.
crotch.
Yeah.
So that's my first one. And then my next line is, I love this one. I'm probably stealing from you guys. He said Aunt Maggie was a real bitch and got what she deserved.
Yeah.
It's so good.
So good.
Yeah.
I had when he's in the elevator and then there's the couple and then
Yeah.
the woman, she goes, ugh, ugly doll. And then he goes, fuck you.
Fuck you.
Yeah. As the elevators is rising. I thought that was kind of funny. And then my other one was the quote from the intro there. So yeah, this is the end, friend.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had that one as well.
Perfect. Chad, what other ones did you have?
Well, I think I've only got one last one, and it was just "Good night, asshole." It's like, all the other ones have been like we all had.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I just is like he's such a prick. This little doll. And he just when he stalks people and he does that little walk of his, it reminds me of Spider-Man in the like old comic, like on the old TV series where he just walks forward with his fists and stuff, and he just kind of trudges along. I don't know, it's just funny. But yeah, good night, asshole.
Mike.
My last one I wrote down because out of context is weird, but it's when the police officer is going, I think, back to talk to Andy's like, I have a date with a 6-year-old boy.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, we as the audience understand that, but I don't think the person in the police precinct gets where
You
he's...
should have put that on our sound bites. Could you imagine? It's like,
Date with a
whoa,
6-year-old.
what is that?
What is this film? All right, thanks for those. We're going to move into what doesn't hold up. Mike, you only had one, so we don't step on your toes. What didn't hold up for you in this film?
Yeah, because I really like the movie, but it was more of a continuity error, but I still said it doesn't hold up. But Maggie puts the same dishes away twice when she's cleaning up in the kitchen. She stacks the bowls on top of the plates, turns, puts them in the counter, and then goes back to the counter and picks up the exact same plates and bowls and puts them back in the exact same.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
I didn't catch that either. Nice one.
Yeah, nice. Chad, what about you?
Mine is the changing of the size of Chucky. So
Yeah.
throughout there are continuity errors with the size of this guy's head. In fact, I put at one point, his head is like a watermelon next to a cantaloupe. Like Chucky's head is massive
Yep.
and the little boy's head is just so small.
Yeah.
And there are times where he's carrying him around and this good guy doll is as big, if not bigger, and sometimes seems wider
Yeah.
than the boy.
Yeah.
So it really was distracting. So I just didn't like those errors within the film.
Yeah, because it depended on whether they were using the still face, the mechanical face, the little person. Yeah, or the sister of Andy or the actor of Andy running. So
Yes.
I get what you're saying.
So they had multiple things that they had to go through. So I get it in a way, but I mean, it still was jarring to see this massive doll sometimes, and other time be like, okay, well, that looks like the right size.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed that too, and I was like, "Holy fuck, has he always been that big?" Like that's one of my.
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, I didn't realize he's that huge," and then I was like, "Oh no, he's just a little guy." And then it was like, it was.
Now he's
it was
big
weird.
again. What is this guy?
Yeah, it makes sense now that you say that. Actually, all right, Chad, do you have another one?
Yeah, I do. I have the kids acting. That little boy about drove me nuts. It was like, I want Chucky. But Chucky's my friend. It's just so bad.
Yeah.
It's basically someone with a cue card behind the other actor, and he's just, but I don't know what to do, mommy. And it's just very poorly done. So it was rough.
Yeah.
And I remember even seeing it first time, and as a kid, I was like, this guy, he's not up to snuff.
He was only 6 or 7, but
Yeah, well, I mean, we got it in Star Wars Episode 1 too, but
And I also didn't like that his eyes never seemed to line up where they were supposed to. Like he was always like staring into weird spots, and I was like, this doesn't make sense to me.
it's probably where his lines were.
Probably a giant cue card.
the director like
Andy's sad.
mouthing the words like mommy.
Chucky.
And it was a huge role. I think he's in the second one. I don't know. I can't remember the second one very well. I know I've seen it.
Yeah.
I watched number 1 multiple times. I've only seen number 2 once.
Yeah.
So.
He's in 4 of them at least.
I was going to say, I think he
1,
pops in quite a
2,
few.
Cult of Chucky, Curse of Chucky. He's in the TV series.
Oh, is it like him as an adult? Like,
Yeah, he's still playing Andy. So
this guy really milked this role.
yeah.
it's like, this is it.
I know where my bread is buttered. I'm staying with the Chucky doll.
I'll be there forever through the TV.
So good
series.
for you. Made a career, and who am I? Like, but it was rough. There were some
Yeah.
scenes that were just rough.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, I didn't understand why the cop couldn't find him in the toy store. There's so much time.
I know.
I was
And
like, it's not that
empty.
big. Yeah, it's empty. It's not that big. Like, I don't know. It's just really, and he's talking. He's doing his incantations. I was like,
There's a massive explosion.
yeah, just it's stupid. And then I also said shooting a metal lock, like it's not going to damage it. Plus, it could ricochet and seriously hurt someone. Like, why are you firing it at it?
That's a trope right there.
Yeah. There's not a lot of science that goes into these because we see that all the time.
Yeah.
They just shoot a lock off. Yeah.
Oh, ridiculous.
It's like, first of all, I don't want to be that close to the bullet as I'm like,
Yeah, it's like literally like an inch away.
right in front of you.
It's crazy. Those are my first 2. Chad, you had one more?
I had the lighting effect when the whole store blows up, and the detective in a white sweater has not a mark on him. What I exactly wrote, has nary a mark. And I was just like, he's in this suede jacket and this pure white sweater, and he just, I was like, this isn't going to work. So I didn't like the lighting effects, the blow up effect, and the fact that he was not dirty afterwards.
The whole scene. I also don't understand how the doll is stronger than a person. Like, I get when it's like huge Chucky, like overpowering a child, but overpowering people is crazy. I said the lightning is so bad from the storm that comes in. It was awful. And then also the detective gets a tiny little slit in his calf and he's down for a second and then he's fine. But he was a baby about it. I said the cop is so weak. It's actually insane. Like he's like useless. Yeah. It's crazy. And then my last one is the cheesy freeze frame at the end. Very like Ghoulies-esque. All right, now we're going to look at what was gratuitous with the most gratuitous scene. Mike, what did you have?
My most gratuitous was the sheer number of good guy dolls in that tiny toy store. Like
just the good guy store.
I think there was 40 or 50 boxes in there. I understand it's a hot item, but holy shit.
Yeah, a lot of Chucky dolls.
Isn't it like taken from the Teddy Ruxpin doll? Like the Teddy Ruxpin doll had a tape that you put in a battery and he would talk to you and stuff like that.
And then there was the My Buddy doll.
And those were huge.
Yeah.
Like the Tickle Me Elmo, like all those dolls were like hot ticket items at that time. So
Well, it was the Cabbage Patch dolls. That's where the screenwriter got the inspiration.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like I didn't really understand too. Like I guess they're selling out fast, which is why they sold out or the mom.
I
the
think she
store was
couldn't
closed?
afford it.
Oh,
She couldn't afford it, so she got one that was like in the back alley for $60 or something.
Yeah, okay.
30.
Was it 30?
Yeah.
Okay.
bargain.
And Maggie's like, that's too much. I'm like, dude, she's getting a hell of a deal.
Yeah, I know.
Except it's cursed, so it's a man inside of it.
It's like the Krusty doll. You just got to flick the switch to good.
Okay,
That's right.
the good. Thanks for that, Mike. Chad, what did you have?
I've already mentioned this, but it's Chucky's head.
Yeah.
It's just, and there's so many switches throughout that it just took me out of the scene a lot of times.
Yeah.
So it really was distracting. And I don't know if I just never noticed this before when I watched it when I was younger, but yeah, it just got me. And then I had the special effects with the sky and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It just really broke the whole scene. And I know that at that time, the computer graphics were at a different spot. And maybe that was cutting edge. And I remember as a kid thinking, oh, that's kind of cool. But now it just hasn't aged well. It just looks cheesy and
Yeah.
It took me out of it.
I would agree. I had the amount of times that Chucky is airborne. So I don't understand how he can jump so high. And he's like flying around all the time, being tossed around. Yeah, I thought that was like funny, but over the top.
Yeah.
So.
It is pretty funny. Yeah.
All right, now we're going to move into anything that was terrifying or titillating. I'm the only one who had anything for this category, and it was the nude murals in Charles's house. Did you notice them?
Oh,
the penis on the one guy was huge.
I did not.
Yes, you're gonna have to look them up. I was like, "What is this house?" It was wild. So I wasn't titillated, but there was just nudity that was unexpected.
There was a disturbing scene where I wasn't sure where to put this. So it's not terrifying or titillating, although it would be terrifying to the person having this done. Was when she went back to the alleyway to ask that guy where he got the doll, and he was like, I can't remember what he said, but he almost rapes her in the alleyway.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember being just like, ooh, this is a little rough.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't say it was it was disturbing. I wouldn't say it was terrifying or titillating, but it was just one of those scenes where you're just like, I don't know if it needed to be there.
No.
Like he could have been aggressive, but it had just been like, fuck off or whatever.
Yeah.
But he didn't need to say, okay, well, this is going to happen.
Yeah.
Like it just went a little far.
It was a weird tone shift.
Yeah, it wasn't needed.
Exactly.
All right, now we're going to look at what stood the test of time in this film. Mike, what stood the test of time for you?
My first one is the telephone jump scare when Maggie is like looking around the apartment and the phone rings. One scared the crap out of me because I wasn't expecting it, but I also just love how quick she answered the phone. She's like, and she just like, so quite like that.
Kung Fu fighting.
And my other one is when Andy's scared and crying. Like, I know he wasn't a great actor, but I thought that was
I had that one too.
very well done.
Yeah. I said, like, I kind of shit on him in my notes a little bit, but then at the end I was like, kids crying holds up.
Yeah.
It works. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. I loved the battery scene. Like when the mom realizes.
I had that too.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. No, it's okay. We both liked it. It made an impression, right? It really stood the test of time.
Yeah, it was really, really well done. And just the realization of that, you can imagine like the heart dropping, just being like, oh shit, right?
Yeah.
So I thought that was really, really well done. I just said the Chucky doll as a whole is creepy as fuck. And I really actually liked Burnt Chucky. Like after
he was super creepy.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Toasty
scary.
Chucky. Yeah.
Toasty Chucky.
Aggressively toasted.
And the way he limps and just keeps walking towards them, I was just like, man.
And the one eye.
Is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely unhinged. Loved it. Chad, I think you have one more.
Yeah, I have one more. The kid's snowsuit rocks.
Yes.
Oh,
I loved his snowsuit. When he goes
to the Eddies.
Well, first of all, he's running around. He's in a place he shouldn't be.
Yes.
But
Sure is.
But I was like, I love this kid's snowsuit. So yeah, that one was good. Everything else I've taken, I love the battery reveal and the kid's crying. So
Awesome. Now we're going to move into our laugh out loud moments. Mike, what'd you have?
The way I wrote it seems terrible because I'm like, Maggie's death, hammer, then fall out the window. But it did make me laugh out loud because it comes out of nowhere. So it's Jesus, that was the other jump scare. It was Jesus Christ. But then she falls back like 10 feet or more and then falls out the window. And so I was just laughing my ass off by the time she fell out the window because it was so stupid.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. I had Chucky's teeth were hilarious to me. I don't know why. I do know why, but I have so many comments about his teeth and his mouth and the different things he was doing. So that was my laugh out loud. Chad, what about you?
It happened right at the beginning, and it was when the cop bit. It's so stupid. He bit his gloves. And they just flew out of his mouth, and they went everywhere. And I just said, "This guy biting his gloves off is crazy." And they just like shot off. So I was like, "What the fuck is going on? Is he spitting?" But I laughed out loud pretty hard.
That's funny. All right, now we're going to move into what was eerie to ear splitting, and looks like I'm the only one with something for this category.
Yeah,
I didn't notice the music at all.
I didn't either. No,
my only one is at the beginning. The music was too intense, was my one comment on the opening scene. It was just too much. But other than that, I didn't notice anything. There's no weird sound effects or anything like that I noticed. Okay, now we're going to move into our what the fuck moment. Chad, what made you say what the fuck?
Well, mine was actually Mike's
Test of
LOL.
Oh, LOL.
Yeah,
Okay.
mine too.
When he smacks her in the face with the hammer and it hits her in the eye, I was like, whoa!
Yeah. Hammer to the face.
I forgot all about it. And then she like rolls around for a while and then falls out.
Yeah.
And I guess another trope would be like when they fall out of the building, there's always that low angle shot that shoots up and they fall towards the camera. And
Yes.
they're like, ah!
Yeah.
So that was my what the fuck.
Yeah, mine as well. Mike, what did you have?
My what the fuck was just every chase scene. All you have to do is jig slightly left behind something. And because I was like, how did the cop not see Ray move behind the pillar? He's running.
Right.
He's clearly in front, and Ray just jigs left, and he just runs right past him. I was like, come on.
It's like there's no one on the street. It's like, oh, that's good. All right, now we are going to look at our back it up moments. Mike.
For me, my back it up was the voodoo doll scene where Chucky's like bending the legs, and then the voodoo guy is like the guy's legs are
snapping
bending
him apart.
Yeah, I thought that was really well done. I didn't back it up like this is so good. I want to see a guy get tortured, but I just thought the effects were really good in that scene.
Yeah. Chad, what about you?
Well, mine was the end, like in the fireplace and then the whole climax and Toasty Chucky.
Or beheaded Chucky telling his body what to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, really good.
Kill him.
So good.
Yeah. It was just, there was so much going on in that last scene. It was definitely a back it up moment for me.
Totally.
I always love when the severed head tells the body what to do. And it's like, you have
So
the ears
funny.
on you.
I know. How does he know what's happening? Yeah. And we saw that in Reanimator too, where he was like trying to... Can't even say that name of that movie without laughing about that scene.
Yeah.
Still one of the best. If you haven't seen that film, I highly recommend it, and you should listen to the podcast we do about it.
Yeah, I agree. Completely agree. All right, now we're going to look at what was hiding in the shadows. So, Mike, what was hiding in the shadows for you?
So I just put like the marketing for the good guy doll is kind of fucked up, right? It's like, if your kid's a loner with no friends, buy a toy that tells the world.
You have a make-believe friend, and he's right here.
Yeah.
It's just like, because I remember seeing the My Buddy doll and the Teddy Ruxpin commercials. And it was like, never thought of it at the time, but rewatching this, I was like, holy shit, this is literally like, is your child alone and sad? Buy this toy. He'll have a friend.
I kind of want to watch those commercials now just to go
Yeah,
back
me too.
and see what they're like. That's funny.
That's really good.
You're a child alone and sad. Buy this doll.
And then it'll tell the world. Perfect. Chad, you had a couple.
Well, I had this one. I'm just not sure what the protocol is when a crime happens in your house. right? Because
I can tell you it's not what happened.
yes,
It's not go back immediately.
everybody's
And
just
send the
in
kid
there
back to bed
and
instantly?
living there. Like there was a murder, there was a hammer in the face, and they're just like, "This is my home." She runs in there, it's like, "Get out!" And the cops are like, "Okay."
Yeah.
Like, you can't fucking just leave. There was
Sorry,
a
guys.
murder.
The owner said we have to go.
Yeah, we can't stay.
Well, we'll be back. We really want to ask him some questions. No, it's not how this works.
Like, this is the crime scene of something that happened.
Yeah.
And then it just kind of ends, right? There's
Yep.
no more real investigation about how Aunt Maggie dies or anything
No.
like that. It's just like, well, she fell out the window. Things happened. So, yeah, I just,
Womp womp.
yeah.
Yeah, it sucks to be her, I guess.
So I'm just wondering why the hell that happened like that.
Well, and the only thing I could think of too is like when the mom's like, "Okay, Chucky, go back to bed," and it's like someone just died. Like he
Yeah.
just witnessed
I
like
know.
this happen, and he's traumatized. Okay, go back to bed.
Yeah.
Go back to bed. Yeah.
Well, then she's like, do you want to sleep with me? And he's like, no, I've got Chucky.
My
It's like,
best friend.
yeah, it's like
Yeah.
poor mom, where she's like, she clearly needs comfort. And he's like, nah, I got my doll now.
No, she needs a Chucky doll.
But that kind of
She's
makes
sad.
sense because a kid would, I mean, kids are at that age fairly selfish, right? They're
Right,
not
yeah.
thinking about what mom's going through. They're thinking about themselves and they're like, well, I have Chucky, so I'm good.
We're good.
Right.
Everything's fine.
Yeah. But I still think, yeah, it's a little weird.
And Chad, I think you had one more.
I just don't know what state they're in. Chicago. There's just rats everywhere. There's just
Oh,
an
yeah.
insane amount of rats.
Yeah.
I just was like, why? Like, I guess to portray this kind of creepy, dirty vibe of
Like
the
the seediness.
inner city or whatever. But I was just like, it's not really doing it for me. So why do we have this abundance of rats? We're not graveyard shift here. We're not like walking down in the pit.
rat.
Like
The
so,
picker.
yeah. So anyways, those were my couple.
Yeah. I also I didn't really think they needed the voodoo aspect to it.
No.
Like I think they could have left that out and just the blood and it's like the soul enters,
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
like what they do with, I think Annabelle. I think is that part of it? Or no,
Annabelle?
because they die holding the doll, don't they?
I can't remember her genesis at all.
Yeah.
Well, she's a demon. She's been possessed by a demon, and she, in the movie, don't they lock her in that room with all the Bible passages and stuff like that? And
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have seen Annabelle. I just haven't rewatched it for a
Looked into
while.
the
Yeah.
lore.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of movies that are similar or comparable, we're going to move into Fright Done Right. All right, Mike.
It was interesting because I was looking at this in a possessed doll or entity within an inanimate object. And I was thinking about Megan 3.0. and
Oh,
I-
yes.
really
was
like
gonna
that one, yeah.
That's a good one. Yeah.
But I think Child's Play, as ridiculous as this movie is, I think does it well enough that I would give it to this one. For Fright Done Right, I think Child's Play is the quintessential for me.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good. I had Annabelle, and then I also said Puppet Master only because I was just watching Puppet Master right before,
Right.
as well. But I do think there's something to be said about Child's Play as a whole, that it spawned so many sequels that are
Yeah.
decent. I haven't seen obviously the TV series or anything, but I think it stands the test of time as that as well. Chad, what about you?
Well, for me, I was looking at it as just possession in general. So if
okay.
we're looking at possession in general, then you have to go with The Exorcist, right? Like if
Yeah.
something is taking over your body and you're not able to control it, but then that's with a person.
Right.
I liked Annabelle. I also liked Megan, but this one I think is the reason those movies exist.
Yeah,
So I would, if we're just talking about that, I would agree. You would give it to Chucky.
I think so.
But if we're talking about possession in general, like the exorcism of Emily Rose and all those exorcism shows are pretty freaky.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
it's
sure.
true.
But with a doll infecting and trying to kill everybody, I would say Chucky starts the whole thing, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
totally.
for sure.
Perfect. Thanks, guys. All right, now we're going to head into our bonus features. Mike, you had quite a few. Do you want to start us off?
Yeah, I'm going to start with some stuff from a few different audio commentary tracks. And just around the doll of Chucky and the way they made him work, they had to build some of the interior sets 4 feet off of the ground so that the puppeteers could be underneath and working, sometimes without monitors. So Kevin, whose name I can't remember, but the special effects artist on this was watching the monitor next to the director, then feeding directions to people under the stage with the rods to control Chucky. It took 12 people to
Oh.
operate Chucky.
Wow.
Yeah, there was 3 just on his face. I think 2 per arm, 1 per hand. So it was quite the elaborate process. The Chucky face that moved had 25 different servos or motors in it to make it work.
Wow.
Remote control was used to control the eyebrows and lips. They had one where there was a chin strap so the mouth would open and close based on the words, but then somebody else would use a remote control to make the lips go in and out so that they would try to match and sync the vocalization properly.
Wow.
Holy smokes.
Yeah.
I think it pays off. Like
It does. It looks good.
It does. And I think the movements look good as well. I think they did a fantastic job with that.
Mm-hmm. I'll just stop there with I meant to mention in my test of time, like the physicality of the doll I thought was great. Because normally, like I'm thinking of Reanimator where he fights the stuffed cat.
Yeah.
Whereas this one, like the doll had presence in the battles.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only scene that I didn't love was when it was climbing up the stairs. Like
Yeah.
when
Oh, yeah.
you could see it climbing up all the stairs. I was like, that's stupid. Silly. It's silly. Did not like those ones. All right. I had that the whole film takes place in 3 days.
Yeah. That's
Which is
crazy.
crazy, right? Because it escalates
Yeah,
very,
so
very, very
quickly.
quickly. And
Yeah.
the fact that the kid's so attached,
Yeah.
so immediately attached, is a little bit crazy. The working title of the film was Blood Buddy.
Yeah.
And that's actually, as I was reading through some of the research, it was Hasbro's My Buddy toy doll. So that's why it further became affiliated with that toy as well.
Yeah. And that ties into that idea that originally the doll was supposed to be kind of like mixed with Andy's blood or something. So it was supposed to be Andy's id controlling Chucky, not a serial killer.
Oh, because of the Blood Buddy. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. But then they were like, we can't have a child killing in his for revenge. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
crazy. Chad.
So just to piggyback off that, the original title of the film was Batteries Not Included.
Yeah.
But then they found out that Steven Spielberg was making a movie called Batteries Not Included.
Does that exist? I've never.
It does.
Oh.
Yeah.
You
It's
have
like
to
these
watch
little
it.
robots. That,
Oh God.
Yeah.
So it's a sweet movie.
Is it actually?
It's cute.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
It's really good. So there was that, and then they went to Blood Buddy, and then they settled on Child's Play after that. So yeah, I thought that was kind of funny. The My Buddy doll line has never recovered from the first Child's Play movie.
No. May it rest in peace. Way to kill a toy.
And during the initial release, a crowd of protesters formed around the entrance to MGM calling for a ban on the film. They claimed it would incite violence in children. Local news reporters were broadcasting live from the scene, and the producer David Kirshner was watching, disturbed by what he saw. Jeffrey Hilton, who worked with Kirshner at MGM, said he could diffuse the situation in 10 minutes. Hilton went down and spoke to the ringleader, and then the group disbands to the chagrin of the newscasters. Hilton never specified whether it was threats or diplomacy that saved the day.
Nice. You need that in a producer.
That's right. And he's like, I'm going to go take care of this.
I'm gonna go with threats.
Yeah.
Mike, what else do you have?
The story of the script is kind of interesting. So Don Mancini originally wrote it, and then it was reworked by John Lafia, and then Tom Holland, the director, then put his fingerprint onto it as well. And so the original script didn't have the voodoo element.
Oh, okay.
It was actually supposed to be, there was the idea of Andy's blood, but there was also the toy factory was next to a prison where Charles Lee Ray was being executed by electrocution and his soul transferred into one of the dolls being produced. That was
Through the electricity.
I don't know.
Oh my
but-
God. I can't do the electricity in these movies anymore. After the fucking Jason Takes Manhattan, I can't.
Oh, yeah.
I can't.
And then just one other thing from the original that I thought was actually kind of cool was Chucky was supposed to be like a pull string toy for talking.
Oh.
And so he would pull his own string to then talk to people. And then to show his transfer to evil, in the original script, he was supposed to pull his string with the high-pitched voice, and then kind of like batteries winding down or whatever, his voice would eventually like go deep and demonic, and he was supposed to rip the string out and then attempt to strangle the mother with it.
Oh,
and I'm like,
shit.
Oh, wow.
that would have been a great scene.
I would have loved to see that.
Yeah, but unfortunately, with Tom Holland retooling it, that got removed, and it actually got very contentious. Where Tom Holland, at some points, I guess, was claiming that he wrote it himself and wasn't giving credit to the other two that reworked it. Now, on the audio commentary, Tom Holland does speak about the original script by Don Mancini and then the Lafia redraft, so he's come around. Thankfully.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Yep.
Whoa, that's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I had Tom Holland was influenced by the Hillside Stranglers to make Charles Lee Ray have a partner, which I think worked well for the revenge aspect.
Yeah.
in the film. Chad, did you have any others?
I just had one more. It was Catherine Hicks won the Saturn Award for this film. And if nobody knows what the Saturn Award is,
I do not.
it's the American awards presented annually by the Academy of Science Fiction, Fantasy, and Horror Films to honor excellence in science fiction, fantasy, and horror films and television and home media releases. So she got a big award for this film.
Oh, good for
Cool.
her.
Which was-
That's awesome.
Which was good. Yeah.
Sweet. Mike, what else do you have?
I'm just going to end with just some information about the first cut of the film. At one point, it was 3 hours long.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, and they did a fair number of screenings to test audiences to cut it down. And David Kirshner, the producer, was talking about at one of towards the end, when they were still a bit long, I think it was still 27 minutes they took out after this. But at that screening, somebody from the audience towards the end of the film yelled out, "Don't touch the doll or there'll be a sequel." And he was like, okay, we're not ready to release this. And so he went back and they re-edited it and cut out more. And then it's the movie we have. It wasn't originally going to be a sequel. Like Tom Holland talked about, like they did everything possible. Like they decapitated, ripped the limbs off and burned Chucky. Like there was no chance. But this movie with a $10 million budget got a $44.9 million box office.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's incredible.
And it became the monster that it is.
Yeah. All right, now we're going to put this film on our watchability scale. Mike, where would you put it?
I really like it. It's not perfect, but there's still a lot of elements to enjoy. So I'm between 7 and 8. I think I'll go 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely worth checking out. It's really good, but not quite near perfection.
Yeah. I was kind of going between the 6 and the 7, and I think I'll also give it a 7. I think it's really good. It's a fun watch. Even if you've seen it before, I think it still holds up for the most part. A couple things that stick out that you're like, okay, maybe not, but I think it's still a good, fun movie to watch. So I'll solidly place it as a 7. Chad?
Yeah, I was flip-flopping between a 7 and an 8. I enjoyed it though, even though there are some hiccups. I agree with both of you, and it is definitely worth checking out. And it spawned so many sequels and different mediums that I don't know. You got to see where it originates from, right?
Yeah,
So
for sure.
So yeah, 7 out of 10 for me.
Wonderful. 7s all around. Thank you very much for listening to us today. Remember to follow us on Instagram. We are at ScreamStreamPod. Stop by our website, screamsandstreams.com, where we have information about our episodes, descriptions of our categories, links to our research, our watchability scale, and a page where you can recommend movies that you want us to discuss. And please rate, comment on, and subscribe to our show on any of the platforms where you get your podcasts. Until next time, this has been Sam and
Chad.
And
Mike.
scare you later.